So now we get into the somatic parts, right? Why the somatic tools matter. Somatic tools work because, as we said before, trauma doesn't just live up here. It lives in here as well. And it's beyond our thoughts. It's in our bodies. Our nervous system reacts before we even have time to think. And an example of this is for my people, if you are in your house, you're in an apartment, wherever it is that you may live, armed robbers, kidnappers come. You're not sitting down thinking, oh yeah, will I go and grab this bag? Hey, where did I put this bag on? I beg, go, someone scream or go and call the neighbors. You don't have time to think like that. If a kidnapper or armed robber comes into your home, the first thing you're thinking about is, oh yeah, we need to get down. We need to see if we can lock the doors to stop them from coming in. Okay, everybody hide. You're thinking about how you're going to survive that moment. The interesting thing about that is your body is also in that moment with your brain, but your body is responding well before your brain does. Because as soon as you hear the noise, someone is at your door doing rubbish. Boom, 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 boom. Your body's like, what's going on? Your body's on alert. It's looking for whatever's about to happen. Your heart rate's increasing. You might start sweating, right? You might start feeling things somatically as you're trying to figure out what's going on. Your brain is not thinking, oh, let's do this. Your body is like, do this, move, run, hide, get ready to fight. So if we can understand that our body actually shows up before our brain does, imagine what we could do in the world if we knew how to train our body to stay regulated in all situations. If we knew how to use our body, not as a weapon, but as a weapon. If we understood the power behind what's happening in our system, and we use that power to navigate the world that we're living in, everybody will be successful. Everybody will be happy. Everybody will be at peace. It would be like Mahatma Gandhi walking around, peace, love, light, energy. Because we would not ignore that bad things are happening, but it wouldn't stick to us the same way. So somatic tools give us this ability to practice that power, to practice building this up for ourselves and preparing ourselves for battle whenever the battle may show up and occur. So what I want you guys to kind of understand here is that embodied healing is possible. And when we say embodied, it's this concept of like everything. It's this whole aspect of mind-body connection, right? It's this whole aspect of we feel it, we think it, we hear it, we see it, that everything is online and it's healing at the same time. So even when trauma has been carried for generations, healing is possible. In our traditions, we know that like we rarely do things on this solo like mission, right? Like no person gave birth to themselves alone, right? No person raised themselves alone. Whether you have parents, don't have them, know your parents, don't know them, somebody was part of your journey. Somebody was in your community that helped you get to the point that you're in now. For my students, your professors are part of your journey for wherever you're going to go next. And professors, you're part of someone else's journey. So what we look at is that it's all rooted in community. And why I say this is because there's different ways that we can heal. Healing is not just, oh, I talked to a therapist. Oh, I talked to a pastor. Oh, I talked about it. Healing it requires movement. It requires work. So what we did is we referenced that in our African tradition, in our African culture, Nigerian culture, we have different things that we tap into to heal. Different things that we can do that can help with healing. So an example might be something like dancing, right? Like I said, I know I'm not that young or that old, but I remember Sonny Bobo. I think that yes, that was his name. And if no, not Sonny Bobo, I think it was Fela Kuti. Yes, Fela Kuti. Feel free to correct me, y'all, because I listen to Afro beats, but I listen to the new age stuff. So I know I'm at fault. I'm to blame. But I don't know. I think it was Fela Kuti. Like back in the day, if you heard Fela's music, You knew. Like if you play any type of like African song that Fela has, most people that grew up back then, they know his music. There's another song, oh, it's so sweet. Um how many of you guys have heard that song, Sweet Mother? I'm not gonna sing for y'all because I don't want y'all to like fire me. But the Sweet Mother song, I feel like it's played at every African like event. Maybe it's just in the US, I don't know. But there's a song called Sweet Mother. I know I'm gonna forget you. That one. That's a song that has like a staple, not just because I've heard it so much as a child, but because of the meaning, because of the attachment, the sensation, like, seeing your mother dance to this song. For me, seeing my mama dance to this song, seeing how happy she gets whenever the song comes on. So, why do I reference that? Well, because when I talk about healing, dance and rhythm is movement in the body. And it actually helps to regulate the nervous system. A great example of rhythm would be like when a baby is crying and you see the mother or the father pick the baby up. And what do? They start rocking. They'll start patting them on the back. They might sway. If you grew up in a true Nigerian household, at some point or another in your childhood, your mother was dancing in a rapper outside, just shaking yash, right? Shake, shake, shaky body. Like at some point, she was dancing, and if you were a kid, you were on her back while she was dancing, cooking. If your mother strapped you to her back while she was cooking, if your dad carried you, all of these rhythmic movements help calm the nervous system. And in a way, they assist with the connection. They assist with the attunement between the person that is receiving that action, that motion, and the person that is giving it. So this is important because when it comes to healing, I want people to understand it's not just verbal. It's not just from this prefrontal side of your brain. It's in your body. Move your body. All those things that are stored and stuck, let them breathe. Let them be released. Same with storytelling and oral tradition. So in Native American communities. And even, like I said, if you have your grandparents still alive or the elders in the community, they will share stories with you that get passed down from generation to generation. They tell you about how things were when they were young, how they used to do things in the village. I know Native American communities have this storytelling culture where they come around in their powwows and they're like narrating the stories of the ancestors. These things and naming the experiences that have been had, it not only preserves the wisdom of the elder, but it shares the lineage of the ancestors. That information is stored in the brain and in the body through the nature of how the story is shared, through the connection of the community that's present. And honestly, when you share these things, it reduces that isolation because now you don't feel like you're in a silo anymore. You feel like you're part of a community. You have family. I think Ubuntu is the word that I've seen people use. I know it's a Swahili word, I believe, but I've seen people in the US use it when they're like, oh, we want to talk about family. So we talk about the Ubuntu, the family. And then we have the this idea of like rest and communal care. So when you're able to actually lean into your community and rest, I attribute it to kind of like that it takes a village mindset. That it takes a village because if mom is tired and she's struggling and she's trying to, sleep and the baby will not rest, you will see the other women in the village come out and support her and come out and help. Oh, let me take the baby so you can sleep, right? If you see a child that's in the community and they're doing anyhow, I remember back in the day, anyhow, anyone in the village could come and deal with you. Right. So there was no way that you'd be outside in the village acting a fool. If your parents didn't flog you, someone else will flog you. By the time you reach your parents' house, they will flog you again so that everyone understands we're on the same page. The rubbish you did outside, I will still deal with you, but someone else will deal with you because it's not good. But the idea of being in community and knowing that you can rest, knowing that you don't always have to be strong, that there is someone else that can step into that space that when it's needed, that is safe. That is the sense of connection, attunement, that sense of community that lets you know you don't have to stress about everything because you're no longer doing it by yourself. And I think for a lot of us nowadays, this is why we're all so stressed because we're doing everything by ourselves. There's so much to do, so little time, and we're all trying to do it alone. So then we all just feel overwhelmed, burnt out, and just ready to let go. So we want to be able to model safety by showing people that tuning into that communal aspect works. And then the other piece that we have to make sure we tap into is this idea of like the ritual and the spiritual practices. So as you guys heard me mention, spirituality tends to be pretty big for our African communities, Nigerian, Ghanaian, Kenyan, however you want to call it, on the continent of Africa. We really do value spirituality, right? And I'm not saying Christianity, because there's many different spiritual beliefs, but for most people that practice, they hold one of these spiritual beliefs, and that is something that is a core belief for them that they carry forward. This might have been how their ancestors practiced, identified, worshiped, celebrated, and then it's been passed down from generation to generation. Us being able to tap into that enhances our healing. So as you heard me reference a pastor a few times, no one's saying that going to a pastor is wrong if you're feeling something and need some help. But what we do say is it takes being able to go to the pastor and other places to make sure that you are getting a full, enriched experience of healing. So healing is not foreign. It's not a foreign idea to our culture. It's in our music, it's in our movement, it's in our food. It's in the way we come together as a community. Science confirms that what our elders already knew, rhythm, safety, connection, that all of these things bring the nervous system back into balance. And you don't have to undo, generations of pain in one moment. We're not looking to undo everything just one time. But if we at least work on it in some way, we can begin to shift the story. We can begin to start to ground. We can begin to feel safe, have honest conversations that lead to healing.